All right, welcome back for Chapter 3, Exponents and Roots. Today we're discussing Lesson 9, Applying the Pythagorean Theorem and its converse. Okay, so let's look at example 1. It's a marketing application. It says Julie is making a brochure for a television. The screen is 40 inches wide and 20 inches high. What is the diagonal length should she use in the brochure? So whenever I'm dealing with applications, I really like to draw a picture first, okay? So here is a picture of my TV, all right? It says the screen is 48 inches wide and 20 inches high. What is the diagonal length? Okay, so in the brochure, she puts the diagonal length here. So if you can see, that creates a right triangle here. I'll put 20 here. And so we just need to figure out what that is. We can use the, since we have a right triangle, we can use that Pythagorean theorem. So let's go ahead and do it. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to define our terms. This is going to be our a or b. We know that this is c, right, because it's directly across from that right angle. So that's c, that's our hypotenuse. That's what we're trying to determine. So I'm going to say a equals 20 and b equals 48. I substitute those values in. Equals c squared, and we're trying to determine what c is. So 20 squared, 20 times 20 is the same thing as 400. Now I don't know what 48 squared is, so I'm going to have to determine what that is over here. 8 times 8 is 64, write the 4, carry the 6. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 6 would be 38. Then we go here, so we got to put it in the one spot. Tens, we got 4 times 8, which is 32, write the 2, carry the 3. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 3 is 19. And then we add 4 plus 0 is 4. That's 10. We got 13. Okay. So 2,304. Okay, then we just have to add those two together. We get 2,704 equals c squared. We're trying to determine what c is, so we have to, what do we have to do? We have to take the square root inverse operation, right, of c. We're going to do that to both sides. That square root and that square cancel each other out. We're left with c. Now, I don't know what that is, but we need to figure it out, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that number into my calculator and figure out what that is. So we're going to go the square root of 2,704, and that is 52. Oh, wow. It's a perfect squared number. I didn't even know. 52. Okay, so what diagonal length should she use in the brochure? She should use 52 inches for the diagonal length. All right, and that is our answer. Perfect. Okay, so that's how you do A. I want you to go ahead and try B on your own right here. Here's my friend, the pause dragon. Remind you to pause your device. Go ahead and work out B. When you get done, press play and we'll talk about it together. All right, see you in a bit. This states, okay, we'll see how you did. It says, what is the diagonal length of a projector screen that is 7 feet wide and 3 feet high? So we know that we're dealing with a projector screen, so we're dealing with a rectangle. So we have 7 feet wide. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in. 7 feet by 3 feet. We're dealing with the diagonal length here. We have a right triangle here, and we're trying to figure out what this is. This is the hypotenuse or the c. So since this is a right triangle, we can use the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to go ahead and define our terms. So a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 7, and just substitute everything in. So we have 3 squared, 7 squared equals c squared. And then we just simplify, right? So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 7 times 7 is 49, equals c squared. We're just going to add these together. And we get 58 equals c squared. We want to get c by itself, so we're going to do the inverse operation of a square, which would be a square root. All right, that square root and that squared cancel each other out. And we're left with c And let's figure out what the square root of 58 is. That ends up being, if we round it to the nearest tenth, 7.6. And that's going to be an approximate value, like that. So what does it say? What is the diagonal length? Okay, so the diagonal length is 7.6 feet. All right. And that is it. If you got that one right, great job, and I will see you in a little bit for example 2.